What's up, everybody? It's your boy Roy with HotBoxTV, and I'm here with Phive of God Body. So we got a special guest in studio today, Phive of God Body Glass.
Yes, that is me, God Body Glass Heart.
Awesome. So it's been a while since we had a special guest, especially a glass artist of this caliber. Phive, I noticed him in several shops that I had been to, and he was at a few events, and we decided to shout him out recently on Instagram. You might remember the Dreamcatcher pendants. So he hit us up and now he's in here. Thank you for coming in.
Oh no, thanks for having me, bro. Like, man, this feels amazing. Like, just to get the recognition, especially from HotBox. So
appreciate it.
It means a lot to me.
Appreciate it. So the one thing that everybody loves out there is the glass, obviously, and they love glass blowers. It's a big part of the culture. And you happen to make a lot of pendants.
Yes.
Mostly, right? You do make functional art as well.
Yes.
And you make some dabbers, but your big thing, your kind of claim to fame is your dream catchers.
Yes. These guys here, these were my first ones, the dabbers that really put me in shops and everything. But like you said, the dream catchers is really where I found my joy, and I find so much joy. I like, literally time passes so fast. Like, where the demos, like, I'll be demoing one and next thing you know, a few hours go by and I'm just like, whoa. You know, like, I mean, it's so enjoyable that, dude, that, like you said, claim the fame. You know?
Exactly. I mean, that's definitely something that stood out to me in the shop that I saw it in. So I looked up a little bit about you, obviously, before you came. You have a website. I believe it's 585, right?
Yes.
And it's spelled, I'll put that in the description. It's spelled a really cool way. But essentially, you really are just a creative person in general, and when you were younger, you were mostly into music, and you're actually an audio engineer.
Yes. By trade, I am an audio engineer. I have a bachelor's degree from Full Sail. I love it, but I also love glass. So
I looked at your bio, and beyond the audio engineering, I noticed that when you were in college, you worked at a smoke shop, a local smoke shop.
Yes.
And the glass at the shop really inspired you to get into glass blowing. What was it about it that really made you want to start doing it?
Honestly, man, once just seeing what goes into it, because I've always been around the pipes and I've seen the glass art, but I've never understood what goes on behind the scenes. And just being in the smoke shop and having to learn to talk to customers about, like, the style that goes into it, or what tech is on, like what tech goes into it, it just really put me on to, like, a whole nother world of art, you know. And you really overlook glass as an art medium, and at least I did, until you really understand what goes on behind the torch. And once I was in the shop, and my manager at the time, he put me on with a glass blower who sold me my first torch, and from there I just dove in.
It's really interesting how you say that people don't really, you know, have that same respect for the glass medium. You're someone that went from creating this sort of sound, just creating sound art, to putting it into a physical form. Is there any sort of, like, similarities between, because I've never heard your music actually, is there any similarities between the type of music that you make and maybe this whole Dreamcatcher theme and some of the things that you do? Or
well, I gotta be honest, I've always been, even with my music, a little bit on the spiritual side, but so that can definitely tie into it. But I feel, as far as expressing myself, the music has always been like a mental and like a emotional expression, where the glass is more of my physical means of expression. Like, I can literally mold something that I want.
Yeah.
You know, so it's a little different, but like you said, like, I use one to get away from the other. Like, say like glass is beating me up today, I'm definitely gonna switch to my music medium to get my mind off of that, and vice versa.
So thank you, everybody, for tuning in to part 1 of our interview with God Body Glass, going over his Dreamcatcher pendants. Stay tuned for part 2 as we check out God Body Glass in action.